Joining us this morning is Kensel Tracy, who is a personal and business coach here in the Ottawa area. How are you?
I'm great.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks.
We met ages ago.
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Yeah. Your company is called the Corporate Coachworks.
Right.
Located here in Ottawa. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, for quite a while.
We're going to talk resolutions.
Okay.
Now, first of all, I have questions about resolutions. Like, should they be made, in your estimation?
Well, I think everybody needs to try and make a resolution, but, rather than just make them at New Year's, they should try to make them throughout the course of the year.
In other words, have a set of goals?
That's right. But not too, there's a whole thing about goals, Goal setting is, everybody says you should have goals, but what goals do you really want to have? Long lists of goals are not going to get you what you want.
Right.
So we always sort of recommend, one or two goals, and the same thing with resolutions.
And something that's attainable.
That's right.
Don't you think?
That's right.
Isn't that important to goal setting?
Yeah, it's the most important part.
I can make, I'd like to make, my goal is to make $1 million in 2013. Well, that's just not attainable for me.
That's right.
Unless I hit the lottery numbers. So why would I set goals that are unattainable?
Well, you could set a goal that said you want to add more money to your bank account in 2013. So then that goal is that's a little bit more reasonable, and you can focus in on that.
I also don't like the type of people who say, well, I don't like it when they say, I don't have any resolution. I don't make resolutions. It's not what I do. And I understand that, but what do you do? I set personal goals, and I think about them myself.
Right.
I don't necessarily vocalize them.
That's right.
Right, and that's not a necessity, is it?
No, and part of actually, that's the best way to do it, Kurt, is to have your own personal goals, because the minute you tell other people what your goals are, then they're going to criticize you, or
if you don't
fulfill it. So you're better off to set some personal goals for yourself, and then really recognize what it is behind those goals that is the reason you're setting those goals.
Right. One thing I would assume in your business, Kensel, that you deal a lot with in whatever aspect of personal and business coaching that you do is self-esteem, right? And that's one of the key factors in anyone being successful at anything.
That's right. Self-esteem is a big issue, and it's the same thing too. If you were to set a lot of goals for, say, 2013, and you set 5 goals and you don't reach any of them, well, what does that do to your self-esteem?
Right.
So you're better off to take one particular area that you want to work on, but actually figure out what it is behind the goal. So if you want to lose weight, for example, what is the reason that you're overweight? It's not because you want to lose weight. It's because maybe you're eating emotionally, you've got some issues that cause you to eat. You basically aren't motivated, so what's causing you to be unmotivated? Those are all the things that a coach can kind of work on.
Yeah, and you can apply those different scenarios.
That's right.
Whatever those goals might be, or resolutions, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and you can break it down. Like I do a lot of business coaching, so if you look at businesses and personal, it's all about people.
Right.
So even if you set your goals up into quarterly chunks, then you can sort of work through them at a quarterly basis and sort of look at what you're going to accomplish in your first quarter and your second quarter. And
that's the kind of thing you're coaching. I often wonder when it comes to personal and business coaches what you do. Like if I were to ask you straight up, what is your main function with people? I've never had a personal or business coach, and people might look at me and go, yeah, that's obvious. But what is it? Like, exactly what is it you're doing for people?
Well, the goal setting is a good one, because everybody wants to accomplish something. So we're not really therapists. We assist people. It's kind of like a hockey coach.
Yeah.
We assist people to become their best at what it is they want to become. So in a case with a business coach, you're helping mostly business owners get over the blocks that hold them back from becoming the best that they can in their business. On a personal side, you get a lot of issues, like say we'll go back to the one that usually happens at this time of year, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Right, so the fact is, why did you gain all that weight in the first place? What are some of the achievable things that you can do within the next 30, 60, 90 days to get there? Your coach kind of spends time with you and talks you through it.
Okay.
Says, I didn't go to the gym this week, but I plan on going next week. Well, some cases, a coach might even phone you and remind you that you're going to the gym today. Like, it depends on what your coach wants, what you want your coach to work on with you.
Yeah. Well, they say a good coach, just like in hockey, is one that gets the maximum out of its players.
That's right.
Right, and out of its team. So obviously, that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, I work on two things. Like, my big thing is growth and prosperity. So. Growth says, what do you want to accomplish personally? And that could be adding, and prosperity could say, I want to add more money to my bank account. So, and what steps do you want to take to do that? So, I mean, you've been fortunate enough to be a broadcaster for a number of years. A lot of people, you know, want to say, well, if I want to get into broadcasting, what steps would you tell them to get it? What steps would you say to them to get into broadcasting? It's the same thing with, if you were going to become a broadcasting coach, you know, it's the same type of thing. So that's kind of
a good idea.
That's kind of what we work on.
Oh, yeah, we got to go, but I can become a broadcasting coach.
Yeah, I'll help you get there.
Listen, thanks for your time and have a happy new year.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for having me in. Thank you.
All right.